It's the Garage Guys Report, motorsports news for you.
1, 2, 3, 4. Garage Guys Report. Garage Guys Report. It's the Garage Guys Report. Motorsports news for you. It's the Garage Guys Report. It's the Garage Guys Report. Yeah. It's the Garage Guys Report. Yeah. It's motorsports news for you. Yeah. It's the Garage Guys Report. It's the Garage Guys Report. Oh yeah. It's the Garage Guys Report. It's motorsports news for you.
Yeah. Welcome. Episode 13 of the Garage Guys Report, motorsports news for you. I hope you enjoyed that new little melody that I made on my computer. I figured it was time for a new theme song. Also, I was tired of ripping off some other dude's music. Don't need them copyrights in my life. So I made my own song. I hope you enjoy the theme song. If you like it, drop a comment, let me know. Before we even get started, go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Keep up with all the good stuff from me, your host, Garage Guy Chase, a.k.a. Chase Holden, a.k.a. him. Me. I'm excited, y'all. We got a lot of news to unpack on this episode. We've got a lot of things happening in the world of motorsports. We got a lot of things happening in NASCAR. The playoffs are almost here. It's Daytona week. It is officially Daytona week. Now that Watkins Glen is in the books, a ton happened at Watkins Glen on Saturday, and it's debatable if a ton happened on Sunday. There were definitely some storylines that we're going to dive into on the news segment this week. So we're going to be unpacking everything that went down, the SRX championships. We're even going to cover some playoff standings in the NASCAR Cup Series. That's right. We're going to talk about the playoffs. We're going to talk about the drivers that need to get in, that are right there on the bubble. I'm going to give you my prediction about what's going to happen at Daytona coming up this week. It's going to be fun. Stick around for it. Also, race fan voicemails on the Garage Guys Report hotline. We got a good bit of them this week, so it's going to be fun. I'm going to try to compact as much of this as possible so that we can focus all of our attention on the Garage Guys hotline calls. Before we unpack everything, an announcement that I have to make. Actually, have two announcements for you guys this week. The first announcement, obviously, you see my hat right on my head. Repping them Cardinals, St. Louis, STL. It's a big week for that, too, because on Sunday, the IndyCar Oval World Finals are going down at Worldwide Technology Raceway, and I want you to be there. A Garage Talk Live is happening on stage in the fan zone at WWT Raceway on Sunday before the IndyCar race, the Bommarito 500. You can get your tickets to that race right now by going into the description on this video, clicking the link. They're Garage Guys approved tickets. You can buy them directly from that link. Go do that. If you're there to go and enjoy your first IndyCar oval, you've seen a million IndyCar ovals, you're just in the area, whatever your reason may be. Maybe you just want to come hang out with us. Buy your tickets on that link right there. If you're not going, but you know somebody that is or wants to, send them that link, tell them to get their tickets, and tell them to come hang out with us at Worldwide Technology Raceway for the IndyCar Oval World Finals. Also, the second announcement. I know that I said we were going to be doing a giveaway, and congrats to everybody that did win the week before last. I've communicated with about 2 of you guys, so I got to figure out a better way to do these giveaways with the NBC prize packs. So the people that I have been in contact with, I'm going to get those prize packs out to you, but I know that we said we are going to be doing giveaways of the drawstring bags. I don't have one with me currently right now, but here's the news that I want to share, okay? I'm going to be doing another giveaway with those very soon. We're going to do it differently, so be on the lookout next week. Don't think I forgot about you in the comments if you wanted to win one of the NBC drawstring bags, because I didn't. We're just going to do it differently, so be on alert. Make sure you catch next week's episode as well, because that's when I'll announce the new giveaway, the new terms of how we're going to do it, but I'll give you a quick tip. Follow me on Twitter at Garage Guy Chase. So those are my 2 announcements that I had. We're going to go ahead and dive into news. Before we do that, just like we do every week, we got to give a shout out to the winners of this past week in motorsports. Let's hear it for our winners. Let's hear it for them. They did it. They won. Congratulations. Winners every week on this show. There's always a winner on the Garage Guys Report, and we're always going to congratulate them. The biggest congratulations, obviously, to our good pal, the thickest neck in Connecticut, Ryan Newman, for winning the SRX Championship, the 6-race SRX Championship on ESPN. I saw a couple of tweets over the weekend where people were kind of roasting the series, but let's be real. Okay, it's a fun series to watch. Thursday Night Thunder. It's got that, maybe it's got a little gimmickiness to it, but who cares, man? We got racing on Thursday night. Don't take it so seriously, y'all, if y'all really feel that way. And I think that the series can continue to evolve in an amazing way. But I really think the biggest shout-out that we should be giving has to be to Clint Bowyer. I mean, look what this motherfucker did at this race.
And are we done with the yellow flag? Here we go.
Oh, Clint got the jump he needed. Come on. He went for it.
Oh, contact.
Again, let's see it, Clint.
And Schrader comes through on the bottom.
That's that dude. He's just slime dogging out there on the track, just skirting and dirting. That's Clint Bowyer. That's SRX. That's energy. That's what that is. All right? Where else are you going to see that on a Thursday night? You ain't going to see Clint Bowyer doing that anywhere else on a Thursday night. SRX series should be here to stay. I love it, and I can't wait to see how it continues to evolve. Just wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way. I think Tony and them are doing a great job. Continue on. It was fun. Had a great time with all the SRX Thursday Night Thunders on playback.tv/Garage Guys, and I can't wait till we run it back next year. But we're going to be filling some gaps on playback.tv/Garage Guys for some programming for us to watch during the weekdays. So stay tuned for that. Thank you to everybody that has been joining us over there and watching. And I think that's a great segue to go ahead and dive in to the news of NASCAR. William Byron got his 5th win of the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series season today at Watkins Glen, his first at the track, and Hendrick is just backing him. The biggest story about this all, though, was obviously Chase Elliott, even though William Byron did an amazing thing. We have to talk about Chase Elliott. We have to talk about what happened today. There was only one caution in this race. Chase Elliott runs out of fuel at Watkins Glen with his back against the wall, possibly the biggest race of his career this year. Everyone's expecting him to win, and it all falls apart. Look, I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. I saw it coming. The road courses, the Gen 7 car, Chase Elliott, Alan Gustafson, it's just not adding up. Why do we keep going in on this narrative if we haven't really seen the wins, the success? He was close at Indy. I get it. But Indy is a very different track than Watkins Glen. And especially if you don't come to play, how are you going to be able to get what you need done completed? Now, I read some articles earlier. I was looking around in the Garage Guys Discord, which is free, to see if there was any news that I could discuss, kind of diving in a little bit more into this story with what really happened, why they ran out of fuel. And I stumbled upon this article on NBC Sports that was put into the Discord where we got a quote from Alan Gustafson. He was asked if it was a miscalculation of fuel line. He says, that's internal stuff. I'm not going to go over our internal struggles in the media. I'm not going over internal stuff in the media. I'm certainly not going to educate everybody else on the problem. Why you mad, bro? Like, I get it, but like these are issues, Alan, that people want answers to. People just don't understand what's happening, okay? Chase Elliott wasn't even made available to the media after this race. This is some serious shit going down, guys. Like, look, I can only imagine how it must feel to have everybody and their mama just expecting you to come through at a race like this, and then it doesn't happen. It's tough, and it's hard not to feel bad for Bill's boy. But I'll say this much. I'm confident as hell that Chase Elliott's going to find a way to put himself in position to win at Daytona. He's overdue for a super speedway race, and because of it, me and my guy Mark, Skybox NASCAR, we both agreed on Twitter that we would shave 9s in our chest this weekend for the race and put a large bet on Chase Elliott to win at Daytona. I really think he can get it done here, guys. I really do. From everything we've talked about thus far to right now, as crazy as it sounds, I think he'll be able to achieve that at Daytona. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a wild one, so be on the lookout. If you bet on NASCAR, listen to the Garage Guys NASCAR podcast. Me and Dale Tanhart will be going over some of our bets this week and what we like. Obviously, Chase Elliott's one I'll give you right now because I'm betting on him. It's a guarantee. But, shout out again to Byron, Rudy Fugle, and the boys. They deserve a lot of credit for what they did today, and they dominated, man. They came through. After Mike Mack ran back into his pit crew issues once again, as we correctly predicted, told you about it. Hope you didn't bet too much. Hope you didn't have him in too many DFS lineups. We told you about Mike Mack. But after that, William Byron just went on to just wax that ass at Watkins Glen. So we're proud of him for that. But a lot of people were also saying that this race was kind of a snooze fest. And I'm going to say this much about it. Last week, road course racing, it was fantastic. We all love the action we saw at the Indy road course. Watkins Glen is a little bit more spread out. It's a little bit more long run appropriate, okay? We're going to see some more speed. The dirty air probably gets created a little bit heavier. But what we witnessed today at Watkins Glen, whether you like it or not, was real racing. That is real racing. No stage breaks, no gimmicks, no tricks. Real racing. And we had this conversation on Playback.tv today. Darian and I were talking about with some other people. And I need to address this to everyone here. It's time certain NASCAR fans stop being so damn shy at the fact that they know that they want to see a bunch of wrecks and bullshit happen on race day. There's nothing to be ashamed of. If you're one of those people that like the WWE, you probably like to watch NASCAR wrecks. You're probably the people out there calling for stages to come back, stage breaks. We want them back. It's not the same. Tough shit. They're not wrecking. You're getting sad. You're getting scared. Don't be. Just admit you like wrecks, and it's okay, and go watch a fucking demolition derby. That's simple. Or adapt. Understand that this is how racing goes. You may not like that, but you have to respect it. Hopefully that wasn't too harsh for some of you. I really don't care. It's the truth. Taking a look back at Saturday's NASCAR Xfinity race at Watkins Glen, there was a whole lot more action, a whole lot more dang-dangies for all those NASCAR fans that are too scared to admit that they love chaos. And let me tell you, this was one of those races where there was only one way that I could break it down. And the only way to have it broken down on this show is by a reading from the Xfinity Book. So let's turn our attention to the Xfinity Book today to read a little tale of what happened in the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Watkins Glen this past weekend. Here come the cars. Watch them go real fast. Brennan Poole hit that Yule straight through the grass. Riley Herbst was aggressive. He a angry boy. Josh Williams' car turned into a broken Happy Meal toy. Cole Custer and Alex Bowman hit the drift so smooth. Don't forget Josh Berry can hit that slick drift too. Kaz Gralla punched a sign with his car in the face, and Ty Gibbs dominated over half of the race. But in the end, Sammy M served that spin for the lead and fought off Sheldon Creed for the win at the G. And that was a reading and a nice little story about what happened this past weekend in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. I'm glad y'all enjoyed that one. That was good. It was a nice little poem that I found in the Xfinity Book. They have a lot of good poems in there. It's always a good time. To address a rumor before we dive into the NASCAR playoff standings, there was a rumor going around Twitter earlier today saying that 2311 may be going with Ford? I know when I first saw this and I heard this, I was like, what the shit that mean? Like, there ain't no way. Can you really see Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick driving Fords, Mustangs for Michael Jordan's team? I don't know. I just don't see Michael Jordan or Denny Hamlin as Ford guys. And maybe that's just because I'm so used to seeing Denny Hamlin driving a Toyota. I see Michael Jordan, whipping in a Supra. Maybe a 4Runner or a Tacoma. I could definitely see Denny in the Supra. But can I see Denny in a Mustang? Maybe. I don't know. But I wanted to dive deeper into where all of this came from, why this started. And it turns out that there was an article written by Chris Knight that was out on the site catchfence.com that was going over Denny Hamlin's free agent status and how it could complicate NASCAR's silly season. I know there was an article saying that Denny Hamlin confirmed he's staying with Joe Gibbs or whatever, but we've heard that tale before, Dennis, okay? We've heard a lot of things that you say that ain't always true. He likes to protect the element of surprise, but it just kind of goes over like the what ifs of what would happen or how this could happen, and that there is the possibility that Ford could hop in. That's just with the lack of performance from Stewart-Haas Racing and the company's contract expiring at the end of 2024. So we all know that Ford is coming into the F1 world, taking over with Red Bull Racing. They're going to be the main manufacturer for that. And when you take a look at that, when you make a move like that, right, that's a pretty big one. You're looking for hot talent, the big faces. Ford has always prided themselves on being the #1 automobile manufacturer in the country. So with that, you have to look over at NASCAR and say, who are Ford's big stars right now? They're trying to kind of go through this new revamped image at Ford. And when you look at Team Penske, SHR, you can make the case that they add up. But I really feel like if you were to throw Denny Hamlin, Michael Jordan, Bubba Wallace, and Tyler Reddick into Fords, that's probably going to fit a little bit better with this current regime that they're building, with this new image that they're trying to build over at Ford, with them really reinvesting and pushing more money into the motorsports world. So could it be a good fit? Absolutely. Why not? It just doesn't make a lot of sense in my head right now, but that doesn't mean that it's not a good fit, and we'll see how it shakes out and unfolds. But I thought it was an interesting rumor I wanted to bring up. But before we go any further, I wanted to take the time to kind of go over where we're at right now in the playoffs before Daytona, since it is Daytona week. Today, William Byron went back to the top of the board. All right, he went back to the top of the board. He is not far off, not far away from Martin Truex Jr., though. It's going to be a hell of a battle right now. But top 4 guys that are in the mix, Larson, Hamlin, Truex, and Byron. As of right now, that is your guys if the season ended today. There are some other names in here, obviously all the winners, and there are some guys that are in danger. But the big news about the playoffs today is with the William Byron win, both Brad Keselowski and Kevin Harvick have locked themselves into the playoffs. They are going to the playoffs, guys. Huge. Rodney Childers found a way to talk to God. He did it without getting a win for Kevin Harvick, but he got him into the playoffs where it counts. And now we could potentially see something spark out of that. So I am very excited to see how it shakes out. And let's take a look now over at the wild card picture. The big one is obviously Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott is way down the line now, and he has to get that win here. Alex Bowman is one of those as well that I feel like could have a shot at Daytona. You also have A.J. Allmendinger. He found a way to get better at tracks like Talladega. He could be a weird threat. I'm just saying it's out there. Daniel Suarez is another one, but unfortunately, I don't think Daniel is going to have the best day at Daytona. So I think that he may have missed the boat on this one. But if Bubba can find a way to win at Daytona, or we get a repeat winner, that should put Bubba right at the cutoff line in the playoffs, around where Ty Gibbs is sitting as well. So, Ty Gibbs could have a shot. Daniel Suarez, A.J. Allmendinger, Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, those are your guys that are close up. And look, even Austin Cindric, look, the bottom line is that any of these guys that are out of the playoffs right now down here in this hole, there are some good super speedway racers out there. Everybody's got a shot. I mean, look at what Austin Dillon's done. He's down there. He could get a win and be in. That could kick Bubba out. So that's really kind of where everything's sitting at. You can check that out on NASCAR.com yourself and look at that and dissect it a little bit more. But personally, like I said before, I think we're going to see a huge leap with Chase Elliott. They're going to find a way to get him in these playoffs. I have confidence. I have faith in that. But before we head over to race fan voicemails on the Garage Guys Report hotline, Kip Richards has a very interesting story that is developing right now. There is a race that's going on that is so big, it's bigger than any automobile racing that there could ever be. And I'm going to turn it over now to Kip Richards on Kip's Corner to talk about what might be the biggest race of all of our lives.
Breaking news here on Kip's Corner on the Garage Guys Report. I am Kip Richards, former driver of the number 100 Purple Pontiac, representing Team Pangas and the Team Pangas thing. Today we have a story so big, so ginormous, that I just could not wait. My doctor has officially taken me off of bark through beer for too much bite. But I digress. The biggest race of our time is taking place right now in America and in the world. The space race. You heard me correct, the space race. No NASCAR, no IndyCar, no F1. This is a race to space. News reports have dropped nationwide discussing the new space race between China, Russia, and America. The USA. All of these forces are heading to the moon, to the South Pole, where they have found ice on the moon, which I know to be true is a lie. They're going to find the aliens. Do not play around. We know they're aliens. I'm from Alaska. If you have seen the film The Fourth Kind, then you are aware that aliens exist. When I was a young boy, I saw one outside when I was preparing my sled to go racing with the dogs. He trying to take one of my dogs. I said, no, alien, you cannot take my dog today. And he left. And I know that there's some form of minerals on the moon that the aliens want. And now these countries have decided that they want to claim it first. NASA has already stated that they plan to release humans to the moon in 2025 to try to take hold of the moon for its lunar powers. But China is close, saying that no, we would like to join forces and do it together. But US of A knows that there's a tricky trick up the sleeves of China if they fall for their tactics. But of course, someone had to already go and spoil the pond, and that was Russia. But after recently launching their probe to the moon, it crash landed, leaving the machine in smithereens. My sources tell me that Russians have already discussed that if they could find a way to ride bears to the moon, that they would be able to have a better chance of getting there on time. A 90% success rate if bears were able to be spaceship fuel. With Russia out of the way and set back for many, many years, China and the US of A are really the two contenders in this race now. Let's hear from what the astronauts for the good old US of A had to say about this exploration.
I don't want China to get to the South Pole first with humans.
This is starting to feel real.
That's real. We're all smiles, of course. It's pretty inspiring moment.
That's what you think. It's all smiles until you find yourself halfway sucked into a black hole by the aliens. One source is telling me that China hopes to get aliens on TikTok for data collection. It's easy, and everyone knows that knowledge is power. If human beings can be sucked into the grim forces of social media algorithms, why can't extraterrestrials? Other sources are telling me that Elon Musk has decided that he wants memes to be the universal language, therefore making it super important for US of A to get to the moon first, to get to Mars, to communicate with the aliens in meme form. No matter how this shakes out, it's gonna be a close one, and we all know it. Right now, with China and the US of A, the heat is on in the world's biggest race to space. Back to you, Chase.
Kind of terrifying, kind of cool. Thanks, Kip Richards. Appreciate your service for that. Who are you going to root for in the space race? Maybe a no-brainer question, but you never know until you ask. Let's go on to voicemails. All right, so we've got a good bit of voicemails to get to. Before we do that, as always, every week after the races, okay, whether it's IndyCar, F1, NASCAR, whatever, 919-769-4477 is the number for you to call. Give me your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes on all things motorsports. Maybe there is a form of racing that I'm not covering, and you want to talk about it. This is your opportunity to bring it up. So you know the number to call now. It's right here on the screen throughout this entire segment. So I want to hear from you next week if you haven't called in yet. But we've got ourselves a race for Mr. August. Got some voicemails to get to. We're going to kick it off with our leading caller, Mr. July, the Garage Guys Report Hotline Caller of the Month. You know him as Casey Racem, and you also know him as Hunter from Arkansas. Let's hear what's going down in the world of the Ozarks.
What's up? It's your boy, Hunter from Arkansas, a.k.a. Mr. July, a.k.a. Mr. Casey Racem, a.k.a. Mookie Betts, because I'm hitting lead off for the month of August. Let me go ahead and start off with the Casey Racem non-race winning driver of the week. I have two guys I want to shout out. Our third-place finisher in the Xfinity race, Parker Kligerman. He seems to know how to get those things done at the road courses. Also like to shout out the fourth-place guy. He's a Cup driver. Ross Chastain got a fourth-place finish in a DGM car, mind you. Fourth place in a DGM car, that's pretty dang good. But let's go ahead. Congrats to Sam Mayer for that win in the Xfinity race. He pretty much told Ty Gibbs, get your Jesus shit out of here. I am not Jesus. This is my fucking win. And then for the Cup race, good old Slick Bill Byron dominated that damn thing. Congrats to Slick Bill, or William Byron, because you can't spell William without the W. Congrats to them. Overall, decent weekend in racing. Once again, my name's Casey Racem. I actually heard my brother Danny Racem called. He wants to have a little fucking rivalry, so I say bring it on. I'm Casey Racem. I will catch y'all in the next episode. Thanks, guys.
Hit the lead off like Mookie Betts. Mr. July himself, Hunter from Arkansas. Thanks for the call, man. Always good stuff. And, yeah, I think your brother did call in. I don't have any other callers from Arkansas, so why don't we just go ahead and just double it up with the boys from Arkansas. Here is Austin, a.k.a. Danny Racem, possibly, from Arkansas.
Austin from Arkansas. Hunter from Arkansas is the little brother, or older brother, you know what I mean. But I think it was a great race, and I'm going to go by the name of Danny Racem because Casey Racem is a stupid name. But it was a great race this past weekend. I just want to shout out to Ty Gibbs for talking crap about Sam Mayer after Sam Mayer cleaned him out, saying that, oh, I have 13, this is a second. Well, maybe it'd be different if your granddaddy didn't pay for your car every weekend, little Jesus boy. And shout out to William Byron, who dominated that Cup race, even though Michael McDowell would have won if he didn't have that pit road penalty. Anyways, Casey Racem sucks. This is Danny Racem, his older brother. And just to let y'all know, Austin out.
You ain't got nothing on your brother, dog. You tried. If you'd listened to the program, you'd have known that we weren't doing anything with Mike Mack because we knew the pit penalties were coming. Sorry if you're a fan. JK. I appreciate you calling, man. You can definitely hear the similarities in the voice a little bit. Some opposing differences there. They don't really, the brotherly love. They're back and forth at each other. we'll see if he continues to call in. We'll see how this progresses now with this little sibling rivalry that we have going on. I'm not ready to put him in the running for Mr. August just yet. It's his first time calling. Whoa. But it is good to know that we've got something going on there. So now that we've got the brothers out the way, our guy hitting leadoff, Hunter from Arkansas, his brother Austin from Arkansas, let's move on to a caller that I have not seen before on this program. I don't know if I'm saying the name right. I can only do as well as I can hear. But it sounds like his name is Barry, and he's calling from Bear Creek. Here's Barry from Bear Creek.
Hi, I'm Barry Masson out of Bear Creek, California. Sunday's race was pretty good, Byron dominating, but what do you guys think about Alex Bowman's chances of making the playoffs? Do you think he can win Daytona, and do you think Chase Elliott will have a chance? Who's winning Daytona? Hope you all have a great time.
Well, Barry, thank you for calling. If you've watched this show, you've been watching all the way up until now, you heard me say it. In case you fast-forwarded, I'm shaving a 9 in my chest this week. Chase Elliott's going to win at Daytona. However, Alex Bowman is in a Hendrick car. They tend to qualify well here, especially around the 500 time. I'm not going to say that Byron or that Bowman couldn't do it, but I've got my chip stacked on Chase Elliott to win at Daytona. I'll put it that way. I think they can get it done. I just don't see a world where Chase Elliott does not make the playoffs. He's too big a name in this sport. Something's going to happen. If it doesn't, then there's a lot you can say, and we'll talk about that next week. But I appreciate you calling. Thanks so much. Barry, I hope I said your name right. If not, please correct me in the comments below. Let's move on now to Josh from Nashville. Maybe another first-time caller. I'm not sure. We'll find out.
Hey, y'all. This is Josh from Nashville, Tennessee. It ain't a concern or might just be a comment, but who else is happy we're going back left turns? Nothing's wrong with a road course here and there, but 2 weeks in a row, that is not NASCAR to me. I'm ready to turn left again, and 2 more lefts after that, then the checker flag. So I just wanted to be one of them people that just says, I don't like 2 road courses back to back. That's just un-NASCAR to me, un-American. Nothing against Watkins Glen. That's been a track. It's been around as long as I've been born. But all these other ones, man, come on, y'all. Let's go back to NASCAR roots and turn some left turns. Thank you. I'll call next week.
Thanks for calling, Josh. I really want you to keep calling. I want you to call every week. You can find Josh at the left turn anywhere in America. Josh, I feel like I understand where you're coming from, my man. I'll say that. We love us some left turns, man. This road course racing has been refreshing. It's fun to watch. It is. I'm not going to lie. It's cool to see some of these races play out. But, yeah, don't stop calling ever. Call all the time. Thank you for calling, Josh. I appreciate you. We're going back to left turns next week, man. For you. I'll catch you at the Demolition Derby. Let's go to Anthony from Pennsylvania.
Hey, Chase. It's Anthony from Pennsylvania. I think wanting a more exciting race than what we've had the past couple of weeks leading up to Daytona is a little bit greedy. It kind of makes the chaos more worth it. Like a chaos cheat day, what we're going to have next week. And I know there's a week left to get in the playoffs, but as far as Chase Elliott goes, I would like to wish him a merry off-season and a happy Christmas.
Short, sweet, to the point from Anthony from Pennsylvania. It's not over yet, Anthony. All right? If you have a hairy chest, please join me in shaving a 9 in it. I don't care if you like Chase Elliott or not. We're doing it. It's a thing. We're making it a thing. I want it to go viral on Twitter. On Dale Center, it's Chase for the Cup. That's my segment there. I give out my NASCAR bets each week on YouTube. We're doing hashtag Chase for Daytona. And if you have a hairy chest, you have to shave a 9 in it. We're going to do that all week long. I'm probably going to shave it soon. I'm not going to do it on this show, but I'm going to shave it soon. But Don't count your eggs before they hatch, Anthony. Thank you for calling. Don't stop calling. Keep calling. Appreciate you. Let's go now to another man that is in the running with Hunter from Arkansas for Mr. August, Garage Guys Hotline Caller of the Month. This is a man that has produced some amazing voicemails. His life is extravagant. He races short tracks. He's sponsored by Coastlaw. Great value Coastlaw. He's a short track driver. He lives in Belleville, and he goes by the name of Bill. Here is Bill from Belleville.
Hey, man. It's Bill from Belleville. They say in football that a game ending in a tie is like kissing your sister. If that's the case, then a William Byron win is like marrying your grandmother and you wear the dress on your wedding day. Yeah, damn! Michael McDowell, Kyle Larson, the two big plays of the day simultaneously combusted right before my eyes. You ever play Mario Kart? You know Wario, the character? Take off his mustache. Who you got? Cole Custer. Cole Custer was back there with them red shells. Back there with a blue shell he saved up for Michael McDowell. Is there video evidence of this occurring? No, there is not. Cole Custer, much like his alter ego, Wario, is a master of destruction and deception. Am I making any sense right now? My wife and kids are staying at Grandma's tonight because I'm still on that prescription of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Twice a day. 8 cans twice a day. I got into an argument with my TV, asking it, why does it keep showing me Brad Keselowski not winning? NASCAR, SRX, asking it, why is it showing me Mario Kart? I thought I was watching NASCAR. My wife and kids are at Grandma's tonight, and I gotta be there first thing in the morning. Because now, I gotta marry my grandmother. Thanks, Billy Byron. Thanks, Cole Custer. I know who you really are now. Rick Ware Racing? I look at the entry list under a UV light. You know what it said? It said Rick Wario Racing. God damn. It's Bill from Belleville. Cole Custer is evil, and I'm marrying Grandma tomorrow, man. I'm going to pick out a dress. I'm damn bad. I ain't going to Pensacola. I'm out.
This man goes on a vacation to Pensacola. He comes back. He's confused. We're talking about Mario Kart. He's comparing Cole Custer to Wario. Throwing red shells in the bag, dude. God damn, bro. Bill from Belleville. Marrying his grandmother. I'll be sure to send a card. That's tough, bro. That is tough, dude. Killed me. Wario. I have to look at this. You take Wario's mustache off of his face, he look like Cole Custer. I don't know. I have to wait and see. I've got it on the screen for y'all now at this moment, but it probably does. It probably does. I'll take his word for it. Bill from Belleville. Amazing. Thank you for calling. Running for Caller of the Month, Mr. August. We'll have the voting up here soon. Probably next week, actually, be the last show of August. So we'll be voting for who will win next week. So be on your toes. Be remembering right now, Hunter from Arkansas, Bill from Belleville. They're in the running of Caller of the Month. Some heaters right there. That's a heater from that boy Bill from Belleville. R.I.P. to him and his marriage, bro. That's going to be a tough time, dog. We're going to go now to Colton from Cincinnati. Let's see if Colton follows this one up.
This is Colton Harris coming from Cincinnati, Ohio. My opinion on today's the race that happened. What happened to Michael McDowell? I really had high hopes for the guy. Great beginning of the race, and then absolutely just dumpstered it. And then you got Denny Hamlin that can't keep a first place for anything. And then you have Byron that just dominates the race. I mean, here's my question for you. Who do you have for championship? Who do you think is your favorite as a championship competitor? And this is my voicemail. I'm sorry. I'm nervous. You're a cool dude. You're funny. So hopefully you hear this. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Colton from Cincinnati, obviously first-time caller. Thanks so much for calling in, man. I appreciate the kind words. And, yeah, Colton, I don't know if you listened to our podcast or not. Dale and I both talked about it. Michael McDowell was not going to have a good day. We've seen it time and time again, man, the penalties. Dude, his pit crew cannot get together. Michael McDowell, the driver, motherfucker can wheel on road, dog. His pit crew, Front Row Motorsports, they got to find a way to appropriate them funds better because it ain't working out. I knew we were going to see a return to normalcy this week, and we did. All right, he had a bad pit stop on the second one. First one, the penalty. So, and then he had the engine blow. So, big dang dangy for Michael McDowell. I would encourage you to listen to them shows. The Garage Guys NASCAR podcast. It's one of the leading NASCAR podcasts in America. I have proof to back it. Check it out. But, yeah, thanks for calling. And for championship, earlier in the year, I took a 12-1 ticket on Ross Chastain. Also have Willie B to win the championship. And I took a Denny Hamlin as well. Can't remember the exact odds off the top of my head, but I had those three guys for championship tickets. We'll see how it shakes out. I feel really good about the Willie B ticket. And I feel pretty good about the Ross Chastain ticket because I feel like they're going to turn up the heat. Dale and I talked about that on the podcast this past week. So, again, Colton Harris, keep calling, my man. The number to call, you know it. All right? You keep calling. Thank you, Colton. Appreciate you, Colton. All right, now let's go to another caller, another first-time caller. A lot of first-timers this week. I love that. I love it when we get some new people calling into the GGRP hotline. Let's go to a guy I know from Twitter, known him for a long time. I saw his name, and I immediately knew who I was talking to. Love this dude right here. First-time caller on the program, TCB from New York.
Hey, what's up, boys? Garage Guys, your boy TCB. First time caller from New York. Of course, you guys know me, but anyways, listen. I watched that race, unfortunately. As a fellow New Yorker, I am very disappointed. All right, listen, New York is the greatest state in the world. All right, and for us to put on such a disgusting show was just unfathomable. All right, it wasn't even the track. It's not the track's fault. You saw the Xfinity race yesterday. It's great. It's the car. This car's got to be patched ASAP. Tired of it. Short track, gotta get patched. Nobody's talking about super speedways, by the way. That's gotta get patched because honestly, hold on. There was a moment at Talladega in April where they were like 4 wide and the Fox cut off of that, but still, it's gotta be patched. There's only really one good thing, the 1.5 miles. So we patch those up and we'll be alright. I mean, patch everything else up. That would be great. I don't want this to be too long or anything, but I love the sport. We just need this thing patched up, man. I can't take it, you know what I'm saying? I can't. But anyways, shout out to the Garage Guys. Shout out to you guys, man. Tanny and Chase, you guys are awesome. Too bad my DraftKings picks did not do too well today, but it's all right. We're going to make a big comeback at Daytona. Peace out, guys.
150 lineups on DraftKings. That's what we're doing at Daytona. TCB, first-time caller. Man, thanks so much. If you wouldn't have threw in the intermediate part of you kind of giving your spiel of like the what's happening and why you didn't like what was going on, I was going to ask you if you like demolition derbies just to fuck with you. But I'm not now because you mentioned the intermediate tracks. Look, I feel you too, man. Like, it does suck. Like, especially when we come from a road course race like last week, I loved it, man. We had challenging. We had people battling. It was close the whole way through. Was not the case here at Watkins Glen, and I think it has more to do, like you said, with the car. But it is also kind of that traditional road course deal. It's just Watkins Glen, right? So maybe they'll find a way to make it a little more competitive, but for right now, it is what it is, and that's what we got. Debatable on greatest place in the world. New Orleans, I feel like, is the greatest city in the world. If you've never been here, I invite you to come. I've been to New York City. I love it. It's a big melting pot. It's great. There's just a lot. It's a lot of overstimulation going on there. Just everything everywhere. You got to have your little pockets. You know what I mean? You come to New Orleans for the food, for the vibes. All right? You go to New York, maybe for vibes, mostly to work in finance. That's what I did. Maybe you're going to work in art. I don't know. But I'm just glad you called. Keep calling, TCB. Thanks, my man. Appreciate you. We're going to move on now to another first-time caller, Timothy from Virginia.
Hey, this is Timothy from Virginia in a little town. This ain't really about last weekend's race, but it's just about NASCAR in general. You know, they thought people wanted all these big speedways and fast tracks, but anytime you look at them, it's never packed. There's maybe only 10, 15 people there, 1,000 people there. Me personally, I think short track NASCAR is what could bring back NASCAR. Because it's always fast paced. It's never always slow. Stuff always happens. Cautions always happens. Wrecks. You know. They wanted to expand back.
He stopped. But he still called. Timothy, I just want to say this, my man. I'm proud of you. You admitted you wanted to see wrecks. That's something that people are afraid to do. People are scared to say that they want to see wrecks in NASCAR. The cars are safe. They're safer. All right? There are people out there in the world. I don't judge them. I grew up with them. I grew up with grown-ups that would get drunk at Talladega, and they were there because they wanted to see some action. All right? As I got older, I realized there's more to racing. But at least you're man enough to admit that you want to see that action. I think a little bit of all of us wants to see that action, and that's okay. Timothy from Virginia, I like you. You're a man, and you're honest. We need more of that from these NASCAR people on Twitter. They need that honesty. Just tell people you want to watch a demolition derby, man. Take the judgment, and then realize it doesn't matter because it's Twitter. It's Elon's app, whatever you want to call it. Timothy from Virginia. He didn't finish his voicemail, but he tried. We're proud of him. Going on to Zach from Alabama. Here's Zach.
Hey, Garage Guys. Zach Cook from Alabama. And I have something about Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell, why the hell what your pit strategy? You have one job and do not drive through more than 3 boxes. So clearly you drove through at 5, leading in and out, and now you got a drive-through penalty. You could have 2 wins in a row, but no. You decided to have a dominant race just taken away from you. Of course you led stage 1, but that's about it, you know? So what the hell you done out there? And I don't know what's going on in the team, but they need to change their act up with that driver. Because if Michael McDowell, he can drive through good on a road course and you give him a good car, you shouldn't expect your driver to have a lot of skills with it. Who in the hell would decide to do that, you know? And it's just, I don't know, it's just chaotic today. I was really rooting for him. I was hoping to can be better than Chase Elliott on the road courses, but it's just sad, really. And that's something else I want to say is Chase Elliott, why you ignore your fuel gauge when you're on the back straightaway on the lap you pull out the caution. Why you pull that out? We could have a green flag race for a tire length of the first race over a decade with no cautions, but you decide to put out Chase Elliott, and we'll call it Chase Elliott fan base. Like you shouldn't expect your championship driver to be better than this. I mean, I'm a Kyle Larson fan, so I'm rooting Hendricks no matter what, but it's just chaotic when like your team put caution. So why you're doing this other than your team, and it's just chaotic really with everything going on this weekend. And it's good chaotic, it's good chaotic. And before I get out here, I want to say a couple things to Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs, 10-4 to you, Ty Gibbs. You hearing this? Probably not. But, yeah. Garage guys, please put this on the podcast because I wonder you guys can put a good skit out of it.
You mentioned the word chaotic a lot, Zach. That voicemail got a little chaotic at the end, towards the end. Ty Gibbs may or may not hear it. Don't really know. Can't confirm. We'll try, maybe. But thank you for calling. I think this is your second time calling in. And, again, you mentioned to put it on the podcast. If you would have listened to the podcast this past week, like I've said now like 3 times, we pretty much talked about Michael McDowell, the pit road woes that he has. So if you were rooting for him today or you bet on him today, I'm sorry. We warned you. Chase Elliott's deal, talked about it already, recap that. Really not much more to say there. But, we'll see what happens. Zach, thank you for calling, my man. I appreciate you. We're going to go now to Stephen McCall. Don't know where Stephen's from, but he's a big Larson guy. Here's Stephen.
Chase, it is Stephen McCall, the biggest Kyle Larson fan known to man. However, I must tell you, my good sir, I am very disappointed with Kyle Larson and his lack thereof of aggressiveness. I feel like it has cost him wins not only in the 5-car, but also in the beginning stages of his career. If you go back and you look at how Tony Stewart, one of the all-time greats, went toe-to-toe with some of the greats of the sport and did not back down and was aggressive from the get-go, was passionate, and had that fire, both good and bad. Look at what he was able to accomplish. My concern and fear for Kyle Larson is he could probably be right up there with Willie B with as many wins as what he has. But instead, Kyle Larson is like that kid in school that gets bullied all the time, and he doesn't do anything about it. Doesn't even tell his parents. So what I'm saying to you is Kyle Larson needs to take a lesson from Tony Stewart. I want your thoughts on this because I think Kyle Larson needs to hit the gym, pump some iron, and just knock the shit out of somebody. Otherwise, he's going to continue to get wrecked every time he's in contention for a win and fighting for 19th place with Austin Dillon. There was no sense in making that move. He makes too many mistakes, and I think it's because he's distracted from the Indianapolis 500 deal. It's happened to Tony Stewart before in the 2002 season. I'm disappointed. He should be sitting on 5 wins. You watch in the playoffs, he's going to make a lot of mistakes.
Big Larson guy. It doesn't sound too positive for his favorite driver in NASCAR right now. And I hear everything you're saying, Steven. Especially I love the Tony Stewart comparisons. I'm a big Tony guy. I love Tony Stewart. My dad used to give me shit for that, and he basically would tell me I would be punished or whip me with a belt if he heard me say, "Go Tony Stewart" in the house. I don't really know why, but everything turned out okay, and I ended up being a pretty good shit talker myself because of Tony. The whole lesson thing with Kyle Larson taking some lessons, who knows? I'm sure Kyle works out. I know he rides bicycles a lot. I'm going to go against what you're saying, though, man. I mean, you are the big Kyle Larson fan. Maybe you're right, but I think he'll be okay in the playoffs. I think he's going to find a way to just kind of sit idly. He's watching the points. And, yeah, maybe he is a little bit preoccupied with the Indy 500. But who wouldn't be? It's the Indianapolis 500, man. It's the race of all races. So if there is going to be one year where he's a little distracted, you're a fan. Let him slide. Just this one time. This happens next year after the race, we'll talk. Thank you for calling, Steven. I appreciate it. We're going to close out voicemails now. Our last voicemail coming from our other guy. He called back, so he is officially now in the running for Mr. August. He will be one of the callers you can vote for next week. Always has good questions, always to the point, always has a good story to tell. Dale from Michigan. Here he is.
Hey, how's it going, Chase? This is Dale from Michigan. Just calling with my thoughts on the weekend as far as racing goes. I was pretty pumped to go to Watkins Glen because it's my favorite road course, but I was kind of disappointed. I thought it was just an average race. It was pretty good. I mean, great. For something better. I even, rubbed my Caitlin Dempsey poster before the race for good luck, but turns out it didn't work for me because I had money on like 5 guys straight up, which was kind of dumb, but I had Suarez, Truex, and 3 of the 4 Hendrick cars. Of course, I didn't have Byron, who was the one I didn't have because, he's won the most races in the Cup, so why would I choose him, right? But I don't know. I'm looking forward to Daytona. I think it's going to be a great regular season finale. A lot of drama, a lot of storylines. I like that stuff. So also, I just want to keep you updated on the ARCA series. Not only one, they had 2 races this weekend. First one at Watkins Glen was awesome. Last lap pass by Jesse Love. First party, he led the whole race. So that's 8 out of 13 wins for him so far. The record is 12, held by a gentleman named Tim Steele in 1997. The second race today, which I just finished watching, wasn't as exciting, but yeah. So I'll end with a question, maybe a 2-part question. How do you feel about Daytona being the regular season finale? Are you for it? I like it. And secondly, which former race course not on the schedule right now would you add to the schedule next year? Mine would be probably, not that you asked, but it would probably be Road America because I always kind of wanted to go there. I thought it'd be a fun, 4 or 5 day weekend trip with 100,000 fans. Seemed pretty awesome when I watched it on TV in the past 2 years it ran there or whatever. But anyway, that's all I got. Thank you. Hope you have a good one.
Dale from Michigan calling in, giving his thoughts, giving us some ARCA reportoring, and asking questions. All great signs of a good caller on the Garage Guys Report hotline. And there are other ways to be a good caller here as well. All these calls have been great. But Dale kind of chopping it up like that. You could officially be our ARCA reporter if you wanted to. I might have to get with you and link up with you. Jesse Love, giving the facts. Drivers that didn't even know existed. Shout out to you. I'm glad you got to go to Watkins Glen. I hate that it didn't turn out in your favor. I don't feel too bad because William Byron was the favorite. It is what it is. I typically don't bet on favorites unless it's just a really big no-brainer, which next year, if this car does not change, I will remember. Bet on the favorite. But going into your questions, I love that. I love what you said about Daytona. You like how it's the last race of the season. Me too. Okay? There's that little part of me that likes that crazy, chaotic racing on super speedway, knowing that these cars are safer than they used to be a long time ago, and knowing that you got drivers out there risking it all, putting it all on the line, chasing the biggest adrenaline rush there ever is, because that's their prerogative. That's what we got to remember about this super speedway racing and about racing in general, man. These guys want to put it all on the line. They want the adrenaline rush. They want that blood pumping and flowing through them, and there's not another adrenaline rush out there than going fast like that. Okay, so yes, I think Daytona is a great race to close it out. I think Daytona adds all of the elements that we could ever want. I mean, it literally gives anyone a chance to get into the playoffs. I think that is one of the coolest things that NASCAR has done. So I agree. And to your final question, I'm glad you told me what track you'd add, Road America. I think Road America was a good race. I remember watching it a couple years back, and, a lot of people would agree with you on that. I'm going to go for another road course race, though. And it's really going to be to fill a void that we're going to have now with Auto Club out of the way. We start off the season at Daytona, and then after Daytona, we'd go to Auto Club, and then the West Coast Tour would kick off, right? Well, I don't think a New Orleans street course is going to happen anytime soon. However, I want it to. What would be a good replacement in the beginning of the season, right after Daytona, for a series that has been arguably producing some good road course racing, except for maybe debatable today at Watkins Glen? I want to see these cars race at Sebring, and it would be a perfect race to do right after the Daytona 500. So I think that would be a hell of a way to kick off a NASCAR season. You go from the biggest superspeedway, the hottest oval superspeedway track on the market in the world, on planet Earth, in my opinion, alongside Talladega. But you started off there with traditional, and then you go straight into a road course race at Sebring, one of the more amazingly built, shaped road course races out there, and it's not too far away. So, logistics-wise, all that other shit, that's for y'all to figure out. That's just my thoughts. That's what I have to say about it. But I hope you like those answers. Let me know. That was great questions that Dale asked. Let me know what you think in the comments. What is a track that's not currently on the schedule that you would want to see? Let me know below. But those have been voicemails. Again, y'all know the number to call, 919-769-4477 every week. Tell a friend. Tell another race fan out there. Get their calls in. The hotline closes every Sunday or Monday if the race gets prolonged at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. So you have plenty of time to get your calls in. And you can even call throughout the week with thoughts and opinions, hot takes. Okay? It starts now. From the time you're watching this all the way until the end of the NASCAR Cup Series race, you have all that time to get a voicemail in. It'll get played on this show. That's a guarantee from me, Garage Guy Chase. This has been episode 13 of the Garage Guys Report. Thank you all again so much for calling the Garage Guys Race Fan Hotline. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed everything that you saw here. If you did, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to our channel, drop a comment, tell a friend, tell another race fan out there that this show exists. It is the greatest motorsports news show on the internet, and that's because I said so. And other people have said it too. I don't care about anything else. It is, and that's how it be. And y'all make it that way. The reason that y'all call in is because y'all are enjoying it, and you want to be heard, and we're making it great, and it already is great. It's been great. It's the Garage Guys Report. It's motorsports news for you. It's Daytona week. The playoffs are coming. It's going to be a great time. IndyCar racing taking off. We're going all the way at the IndyCar Oval World Finals. St. Louis, click the link in the description. Get it. I don't know why I'm talking like this. I feel like Stephen A. Smith. This has been a show. I'm out. See you later. Bye.
Garage Guys Report. It's the Garage Guys Report. Motorsports news for you. It's the Garage Guys Report. It's the Garage Guys Report. Yeah. It's the Garage Guys Report. Yeah. It's motorsports news for you. Yeah. It's the Garage Guys Report. It's the Garage Guys Report. Oh yeah. It's the Garage Guys Report. It's motorsports news for you.
Subscribe.